Kyle and Mike, welcome guys. Mike, what are you doing? You trying to figure that shit out?
It says request to be in this live video. Anyone can watch it. Some of our followers will get notified.
Here, can you accept his following or so Mike can get in?
I think we're good. I can
Okay.
see it, so I think we're good. I don't
Can you
know
just
why
put it there? Yeah, you're good. You can
That's
see
good.
it.
I'm good.
You can just set her up somewhere where we can see. So, welcome everybody. This is our first time doing a live, which should be interesting. Just trying to get things figured out here, which I think we do. So, anybody that's watching, I don't see anybody watching yet.
It's
Oh, we don't.
showing them there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good. We're trying to figure things out. So, what do we want to talk about first? The Four Nations.
Of course.
Four Nations. Everybody that's probably watching is a hockey fan, I would hope. So you guys know what the Four Nations are. Thursday's a big one.
It's gonna be a big one. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's going to be a good game. I don't think we're going to see the start that we did on the weekend. You know, with 3 fights in the first 9 seconds, which was awesome, by the way. It's good to see hockey's back that way.
It is, and just having an all-star weekend like that was great to watch.
You know, the NBA, they had their all-star game this weekend. They're all like, what a joke, man. Like, they're talking about it on, ESPN and TSN and all that good shit. All the sports talk shows, just how much of a joke it was.
It was not like the Four Nations tournament at all.
That's for sure.
But when I turned on that game and watched, especially the first 10 seconds of that game, I knew that those guys were coming ready to play.
Yeah. Certainly, very entertaining, very energetic, and when you play for the country, it just kind of steps up, and people play at a different level. What'd you think of it? Canada, U.S. on Saturday.
It was awesome. I mean, 3 fights in 9 seconds isn't getting better than that. It just shows how competitive hockey players are. That, I mean, let's be honest, it's no Olympic gold on the line. It's theoretically an exhibition game.
Yeah, no, it's certainly going to be a fun Thursday night. 6 o'clock standard time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. For what are they playing for? Just the trophy? Is there a trophy or what is it? Just bragging rights? Just
Pride.
Pride, right? Who cares? Any listeners out there? What are you guys' opinion? Who do you guys think? I think Aaron, you're gonna have to look to see questions because they're not coming through over here.
One viewer.
We have one viewer, right? It's me.
Only one viewer so far?
Yeah, so all the people, they're not sending in questions, they're just not here.
They're not here yet. Well, they'll be jumping on. But either way. Well, when we were doing the testing, there was like 20 people, but now it's like I was just wondering, like, where's everybody?
Yeah, because it says I should be able to see everyone. That's what I kept. Oh, we got 2. Look at that.
Who's the second one?
Double our
I don't know
followers
who
here.
that is.
I can tell you.
Rasmus, good. Hey, Ras, welcome to the show, bud. We'll get more on here. It's so Four Nations gonna be good.
You see what Coop said about it?
No,
Coop said that the Four Nations has done more for hockey than anything else has in
I
the
did
last
see that.
10 years.
which is probably true.
That's a bold statement, but yeah, I mean, it's got to be one of, if not the most. Like, I mean, how long has it been since we've had the Olympics? 2014?
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sochi was the last one, right?
And that was maybe a decade ago, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. So like it's awesome. Hopefully it takes place in the All-Star. Because the NHL All-Star game, besides the skill stuff, it's you know what I mean? Like guys don't want to get hurt and shit.
But I love watching those guys in their nation's jerseys too. I mean, maybe like expanding it or figuring out just another way to cut it up next time too.
I think it's awesome.
But yeah, definitely beat NBA weekend.
I'm not a basketball fan anyways, and there's probably a lot of haters out there, but I can't stand basketball.
Did you see PK's rant the other night?
No, what does he say?
Basically the same thing that Coop said of just, playing with pride and how much it's doing for the sport.
Right.
Yeah, and just how you can't compare the cultures. It's two completely different sports. Biggest difference. I mean, isn't LeBron sitting out the All-Star game for this?
I think we got a view request. You want to check up here?
Ankle sore. It's me. Don't accept it.
Don't accept that?
No, because I think it's to join the video, which would mean this camera would turn off.
All right, I don't know. We don't want to do
And
that.
I couldn't unrequest it, so
Hey, Ras, do me a favor and send a question so see if we can see it.
he's off. Mute's on.
This is Halloween. Send me a question. Send a question here just to see if we can see this is working. That's probably coming through. She's watching. She's a big fan. Her husband won a razor ride last weekend. Not this past week, the weekend before. No, yeah, I think it was. I can't remember. But she just recently won, which is cool. Mikey, let's talk about your weekend. Saturday and Sunday. I know we want, or pardon me, Friday, Saturday. I know we want to kind of get through that quick, but
They do it all right.
how do you think we're going to do this weekend, Mrs. Halloween? Well, Mrs. Halloween, I think it's going to be a good weekend. Brahmas are going through a little bit, I'm not saying turmoil, but you know, the coach is suspended for a total of 15 games. I think he's served 4 already.
Here's an interesting, I guess what I learned, how they're handling this. So, they have the suspension, both coaches were suspended,
Yeah.
but they're letting the assistant coach play right now, and he'll serve a suspension again, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how I agree with that or like that, but those are the rules. You know?
Do a lot of the fans know why they're suspended?
I would assume they do. You know,
Yeah.
most of the hockey fans, you know, they have social media and it was freaking everywhere, right? But you know, for those that don't know, there was a big scuffle, you know, a couple line brawls in Bromland a couple weeks ago, and airborne whiteboard went from one bench to the other bench, and it was hilarious because it just took him across those shoulders. Yeah, congrats on that. Got you 15 games, but yeah, so that's what happened there.
Could have
Yeah, you know, he was at the league meetings. You know, that I was at over the weekend. Didn't really talk about that, obviously. Something that you probably don't want to talk about. But
No.
Right.
anyway, so yeah, Bromland, they're coming in this weekend. Should be a good test.
Yeah, they're a good team. They're gonna be down one of their better players, but you know, obviously we've been struggling a bit, and some of the areas that we've been struggling, we've been working this week. You know, as much as possible to clean up some of those details, to kind of get right back on track here and see how it goes.
Right. You know, they got a good team. They're a really good team.
Really good, and they're coached really well, and they're super detailed. And we got to match that detail.
I would say discipline, but I don't think that's the case.
See, but I would. Yes,
No, they are.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. But that's the thing.
Yeah, you know, you have to sort of keyboards on my whatever.
You want me to hold it? I can read it.
Oh yeah, you can do that. You know, but they are disciplined, but I guess you just kind of have to match what's brought to the table, right?
And their systems are disciplined. I think some of the personnel will get away from them every once in a while. So if you can get under their skin, maybe you get some looks.
Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna have to talk a little bit louder, folks.
They're used to having that kind of success, right? Like with teams, you know, because their systems they're so structured and they play so well. If you can disrupt that, it really throws off their rhythm a little bit. And so I think, like, you know, obviously that's the mindset we have to go in with. But they're really detailed. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, they're one of the best. I mean, I hate to pump the guys tired, but if they're not the best, they're one of the best coach teams in the North America.
Agreed.
Right. You know, and I was talking to some scouts. I think you and I were talking, Mikey, about, you know, the games at the top prospect event this past weekend. We had some players in there, both on the NA3 and the NA, but they were talking about, you know, the South Division. It doesn't really compare, in a sense, to the other divisions. It's, you know, everyone said, "Oh, the South is so different. It's so tough. It's so this. It's so that." It is.
It's deep.
You know.
Yeah.
And it never fails. Like, we get guys from other leagues, come to BC, whatever, AJ, you know, leagues like that, and they're top guys there, and they come down here and play in our league. You know, they're not.
No, it's different.
It's a lot different, man.
I mean, Harper was telling me that our building is, you know, 10 times better than a lot of buildings in the dub that he played in
Yeah.
when he was there, right? Just like in terms of our fan base and the crowd that we get and the environment. Him and his old man said the same thing. Like, you just don't see that in every building in the dub.
Now, you know, like I grew up out there and played a little bit, you know, preseason and whatnot, and that was 30 years ago when I was playing. But it's different, man. Hockey's different these days, and one of the things that we talked about, you know, collectively, you know, here's a question for you guys out there. I would assume everybody enjoyed what happened last Saturday, Canada-US, start the game. If you didn't like it, I don't think you're a true fan, and I think you're bullshit. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? What leads to should they bring, and it's not that hockey or fighting is excluded from hockey, but they're certainly trying to push it up. Do you think it should be back?
It definitely holds its place in the game. I don't think that's ever going to be something that goes away.
No questions. Mrs. Halloween said that it was awesome. She loved the Canada-US game. I mean,
How could you not?
Right. Well, I think going back to what we talked about, they've always tried to make the rules harder. Nothing's changed the fighting rule more than 10 they put in our league.
Yeah, and you can only do it once. You get another one, you get tossed, right? And then you get accumulated penalties. So you get, I think it's doing more damage to the game when we talk about putting bums in seats, right? What better way? What better way? Everybody wants to see goals and whatnot, and the product on the ice is so much better now than it was when I was playing. Better athletes, they're just better.
More dynamic skaters.
Even from when you guys play, they're better. They're better athletes all around.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it just brings a different atmosphere to the game. You get guys like what we can go on forever about this. First and foremost, I think USA Hockey should take away full face masks 17 and over, or 18 and over. Get rid of it. Screw the waiver. Well, add the waiver where you can do it as a 17-year-old, but just do away with it. You cannot wear a cage. That's what I think. It changes everything. You get guys who are in full cages and tough guys, man.
Oh yeah, you see it all the time in college hockey. You watch a kid who you saw in junior, he's not tough because he never answers the bell, and then all of a sudden he gets to college hockey, he's got a bubble on, and he got the biggest mouth on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, come on. Everyone knows
I just think it changes everything. Put the fighting back in. Don't do what is the word? Where you add the penalties and then you get down the road, you get suspended for it.
So we got a question. He said, how do you think the game's going to turn out tomorrow? Well, I know what you think.
Well, let's put it this way. Since you two chickens wouldn't bet to shave your heads, I brought in another bet. So besides the dinner that I'm going to get sooner than later, meaning I'm going for Canada, Jorge Ortega and myself. He's a hockey dad, longtime Rhino supporter. Our daughters play together. Well, we're going to shave our heads. Loser, if he wins, he's going for the U.S. I shave my head. I win. He shaves his head live on the podcast.
You're gonna look a lot different, bald.
I look good, bald. I've done it before.
I'm good with Clippers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fight George for that, but you guys are more than welcome to take a turn. And we're gonna do it here live. So to answer that question, I think Canada. It's gonna be a good. Can you what?
Can we bake your head?
No, I said a number one, but me, I'm up for really everything. We'll talk about that, but because I'm not gonna lose anyway. Why? There's not even a discussion. But I think Canada will come out ahead. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. There's a lot of injuries out there. A lot of talk about the U.S. And again, it could be ploy, could be tactic, right? We've all been there. We've all done it. Is it Brady Kachuk? Yeah, Brady hurt himself.
Matt.
Is it Matt? Well, they're both hurt.
I don't think Brady's hurt.
He went to the net. He didn't play.
Really?
He left the game. When
I thought it was McAvoy and Kachuk. Or Matthew.
But Brady left the game after he ran into the net. So there's that. McAvoy. I think he's dusting.
He played real well defensively against that team, though.
He got burned by Connor McDavid.
The first one he did, but then he made up for it.
Dude, if you see Connor McDavid come down, just hit him. Just turn it
You know what? Lay down, throw your stick. So we have a question? I can't hear you. Speak up.
So there was a question on YouTube,
Question on
or
YouTube.
an answer.
What's up? What's the question?
It went away. I didn't get to see it.
Oh my gosh. You're allowed to speak back there when there's a question. Say, hey, we got a question. So hey, if you're watching on YouTube there, guys, throw that question back because they only appear for a little bit, then they disappear. So jump back on there and throw that out there. Anything on Instagram?
No, Ms. Halloween said she agreed with our comment because we're lagging a little bit, right?
Okay.
And so she said she agreed that it's part of the game, and also said that she's definitely going to be tuning into the U.S.-Canada game. And if you're a hockey fan, how could you not?
How can you not? And we
Is Bennington really the best option?
piece
for
of shit
Canada?
too, man. He's not good.
Like what happened in Canadian goaltending?
They don't move to the U.S. Trying to get a better place for them. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that they're Canadian and can play for the team.
No, they jumped over to the U.S. I don't know, dude, why.
Like I don't know, like Bennington's your best option?
Yeah, he's.
And he let a couple shaky goals,
Oh my
but
God.
again, like
The 5-hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
Last week when we were talking to, like, you do have to give Canada credit. Like, that power play is unbelievable with that setup, and just the speed that they have. I did think that the U.S. did a great job of like cutting that ice down and defensively just stood at the blue line and made them dump and chase. But we may have a different result tomorrow. But we'll just see.
Yeah.
You gotta go on.
Well, I know, but it's gonna be an electric factory either way.
It'll be good. It'll be
Oh,
like
that's my phone ringing up there.
it'll be like a game. It'll be like a game 7 where the percentage is gonna go heavily in favor of whoever scores the first goal.
Yeah.
It'll be very similar to that.
You think it'll be as physical, or are they?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you're going to see 3 fights in the first 9 seconds. I don't think you'll see a fight all game long unless it gets out of hand. But I think the physicality of it is going to be top notch in that Boston Garden there, or whatever it's called.
TD Garden.
TD Garden.
So
It's going to be pumping.
here's another topic on the fighting rule. If that game was in the Olympics, those guys would have all been
They're gone.
suspended,
Gone, yeah.
ejected. So they're just operating under NHL rules rather than double I's, and so
The line's
Yeah.
terrible.
it's your daughter's on their watch list. Like it's brutal, and you barely touch a guy, and you bring these refs over from Europe, and it's Joe Fat. So that's what makes it so much better.
It is. It's awesome.
It's like the World Cup in 1996. It's all over. It's awesome.
You know, and what's
You're
crazy
on
is
that one.
so living in the past. What's funny is I got a text message last night from our assistant youth hockey director. She's like, "Can we cancel youth hockey on Thursday night? You know, parents are asking this, that, and anything else." I'm like, "They want to watch the game." I'm like, "Well, perfect, because I want to watch it too." So, you know, just to put it in perspective, like obviously we are hockey fans, but man, everyone's dialed in. They want to see the game, so we are canceling youth hockey tomorrow night, so everyone can watch the game. Drennan, who's
No refunds.
the dude does our late speed too, he canceled that, so 6 p.m. tomorrow we're shutting down. It'll be good, so we'll have a watch and it'll be good.
In theory, could we put it up on that screen? Like, are you,
We tried, we had, you know, our IT guy, not IT guy, but we had Pete trying to figure it out. We could put it on the TVs surrounding, but not on the big screen for whatever reason.
Got it.
So,
Cause that would be pretty.
That would have been amazing.
well, yeah, because that's what I wanted to do, was put it on the big screen while the games are going on, you know what I mean? But then you probably have nobody paying attention to the game except the ones
Kids would
that
be
are
running into each other.
You know, but it'll be good. It'll be good. I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be
I'm
awesome.
super excited. So, you know, I went to.
See, Mrs. Halloween said we should watch it.
We should watch it, alright, but unfortunately, Mrs. Halloween, we can't put it up because that would be a cool watch.
Be an awesome watch
You
party.
know what I mean? That's something. You know, we should probably
Isn't
figure out.
Thursday dollar hot chocolates and hot dog night?
Dollar wieners.
Yeah. That would be way.
Would have been, but we can't get it on there for whatever reason.
What's that?
Trust me, I've been trying. Because I think that would have been cool.
I thought Aaron was like the tech guru.
No, he struggles to read us questions on
So
YouTube.
quiet back there tonight.
Hey, I'm monitoring here.
Why is your guy running the podcast reading the chat? I'm not sure. Why is he or why isn't he? We're trying to figure that out, Georgie. You know,
Who said that?
the guy that's going to shave his head next week.
Oh.
Jorge Ortega.
He commented on YouTube, that's why.
Oh, is it? Hey, Georgie, throw that back out there on YouTube and see what you were saying.
Something about the shaver and
2 text messages. Maybe he's going to send it to mine. I told him that Kyle and Coach can help shave your head.
There we go.
George, it's not going to be the case. It's going to be the case of you shaving your head, buddy.
Oh, he said we can help with the clipper.
Yeah, he said that. He's good like that, but it's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Maybe
I'm
we should
gonna
get
get-
a USA flag in there after we.
Right. But it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of fun.
You should ask Jorge if we can do it with Maple Leaf inside his head.
Mexican flag.
It's US versus Canada.
Georgie, he's got a funny looking head too.
Dude, can you,
He's got big ears, funny looking
I
head.
can do a butchered,
I'm just kidding, Georgie.
Maple Leaf, but I can't do the eagle on the Mexican flag. Can you imagine how hard that would be to set a clipper?
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. It'd be a little difficult. So we'll just shave the heads. You know what I mean? Since you chickened out and you chickened out.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you admit it. That's a good thing. Typical Americans.
A bunch of pretenders over here.
Yeah, pretenders exactly like the team that's going on the ice tomorrow.
No, I know
Pretenders.
You guys
I know you're actually
I know
worried.
you are worried. You've been worried.
I don't worry. Canada's gonna win.
We looked so good. Oh, nice. Elise said, "Great show, guys, except for the producer. He's got to go." Mike.
Yikes.
Who said that, Luis?
Luis, yeah.
Yeah, right, Luis? He's terrible. He's well, he's getting married. You know what I mean? His mind's preoccupied. I don't know if I'm allowed to chirp him about getting married.
You can.
He says I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he says I can, but his wife will probably say different.
Yeah, but it's not a chirp.
There's agreed we don't want to go about right, George. See, he's already getting scared. Like he's revamping the rules. Just probably shitting in his pants.
He's
over
got
the
nothing
school
to worry
district.
about.
Do you worry a little bit like if you shave your head, like it might be the last go around? It might not go back.
No, not at all. I got.
It is kind of thick.
It is. I got good hair.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It may take a while to get back.
No, my hair grows really fast. All right. Really, actually, you know, like when we've done it before, because we've done it before in the past, and like I'll shave my head twice to Sherman's once. You know what I mean? And it catch back up to his growth.
Yeah, it's like one of those little seeds that you
Chia
pour
pet.
water on. Yeah, like chia.
Chia.
This is how we want your daughter joined. Speaking of double I.
My dog. Hey, what's up, Cameron? She's gonna chirp me.
And then
Guaranteed.
I hope she does.
She will.
Mrs. Halloween says that we need to make a different bet because we won't shave our heads.
What's that?
So, like,
Read that again.
That us two need to have a different bet with you because we won't shave our heads.
Well, we do have a different bet because they chickened out. And I'm getting screwed on this too. So
2 for 1 dinner.
If a 2 for 1 dinner, so if I win, they got to split the bill to buy me 1 dinner. So if I lose, I got to buy them each a dinner. And we're going to where are we going again?
Well, if we win, we're
40
going
for the Mexican steak sandwich.
The best steak sandwich.
It is good. What's my daughter saying? She's saying anything?
She hasn't chirped in there. I think she's gone, man. She was bored. She's gone.
She's got a lot going on right now. Lot on the pipe that little girl has going on right now. It's pretty. I won't get into it yet, but you know, yeah, she's got a lot going on. That's what I'll get into until it's confirmed.
I think I can down. So.
Yeah, which is really cool. And there's been 2 or 3 kind of boom, and one involves skate bands, customized skate bands with a name and number on it.
That's cool.
It's coming out now, so
Latex.
I don't know. I read the contract partially.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know,
You got bored after.
Cameron, send it to me so I can look it over. I already sent it in, but here it is. Jesus Christ. But
She's 18. She can sign for herself.
she's 19, but yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, she's still a kid. You know what I mean? She's my kid.
She is a kid.
She is. But yeah, no. So she anyway. She's got some stuff coming down the pipe.
One thing we could talk about that I thought was super interesting. So speaking with top prospects.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guys who played really well. I was able to catch all of them at least for a bit. I was on the bench, and I actually this loss was nice because I was on the bench for Select Gold, which was pretty much for the NA grade, which was pretty much all Frontier kids, like probably 95%.
This is a good talk.
And the other side was
Goots and
Goots and Bradford. I forgot what their team was called, but it was primarily South guys. It was like I think they were blue.
they're good.
And at least 95% South. And we got another 10-piece loss. Like that team smoked the Frontier division, and I was on the bench with the Johnstown coach, and he came to me after the game and says, "Is it fair to just say that those kids were just significantly better than the Frontier kids?" And I said that I think it's a fair statement. You know, I thought that it showed the strength of the South. I thought it showed just how good that division is this year. I think you're gonna see there's a potential in my eyes that you can see 2 South teams in the Fraser Cup final because I think the wild card is gonna end up being a South team
Right,
based
yeah.
off of records.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. How is it like coaching at one of those events? Like Brian, you don't really know any of those guys. Is it just
Just having fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. We told them before the game, like, look, go out there, have fun, like, but do it right because at the end of the day, like, you're playing in front of college scouts, and they know how many points you got. Like, they can
Yeah.
look you up on the process. They want to see what your details are like and how you can play the game. And so we told them, you know, don't cheat it, play it the right way, but mostly just have fun. I mean, you can't do much. Like, you're rolling lines, like, you're not, you know, I'm not sitting anyone, we're not drawing up face. Like, if it got tight, maybe we draw something up, but
sure?
yeah, you just try to have fun with it and just get to know some of the kids and you know, just have a good time. And then on the other side, you know, the NA teams were playing. Those are some good games. Like
Yeah.
like the pace of those games were good. The physicality was good. Like here's the deal, like it doesn't feel like an all-star game because every single guy in there is uncommitted.
Yeah.
And in the stands, I was impressed. There was probably, for some of the games, there was north of at least 15 Division I schools, probably as many as 20, and then tons of Division III schools. And all those guys are out there playing, trying to earn scholarship. And a couple of our guys got some good attention, got a couple irons in the fire, which is awesome to see. It's a good networking event.
Yeah.
One of the stats that they brought up in our meeting that I thought was super interesting. So since the change of Major Junior being eligible for Division I hockey, since that date, Major Junior has accounted for about, don't quote me 100% on the number of this, but I'm going to be in the ballpark, about 45% of the Division I college scholarships.
Wow.
The BCHL's in second with 15.8, almost 16% of the Division I scholarships. Then the USHL with about 8%. Do figure those kids are so young, a lot of them, they didn't get the commitment in the league, they might have had it before.
Yeah.
And then the North American League was next with 5% of the Division I commitments.
Yeah.
So I think that just speaks to the changing landscape and the way things are going. And I think what you're going to see more of, from what I kind of gathered from this weekend, is a lot more league commitments between the portal and just them figuring out how many of these major junior kids actually want to play Division I. And you're going to see a ton of league commitments, and I think you're going to see a ton of league decommitments too.
Right. Yeah, certainly, and you know, we talked a lot about that when I was at, you know, my league meeting, and we can't really get into too much detail, but you know, the landscape is certainly changing, and I don't think really everybody knows where it's going, as far as, you know, where the commitment's going to come. Obviously, there's going to be a change, if you will, but we don't really know where the dust is going to settle, because there's a lot of things coming in the pipeline, which, you know, can benefit, you know, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 3 hockey. You know, there's, you know, you see that the EHL now, and the NCBC announced that they're freaking tier 1. Like, really? So anybody can just, oh, we're tier 1 now? That's
in USA Hockey, you can do whatever you want.
you know what I mean? But that's what they're doing, you know, and it's just like, really, so like, what are we, like, tier 0? You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
That's for sure.
right, you know, there's just a lot of stuff trying to get things noticed and you know, kind of,
It just shows you like the complexity of hockey too. It's not so streamlined as basketball or football.
hey Seth, your sticks are in.
I think you got far. I don't know if you got
Oh, they're right there.
Another interesting thing that I heard about, and I don't know how much teeth this idea really has, but my understanding is that there's a huge push to create a AAA Super League in the United States, where basically it would be all supported and funded by USA Hockey, subsidized, not 100% funded, obviously, subsidized, and go down to like 32 teams, and make it completely structured, and it would be similar to the way they do it with junior hockey, where this is the only recognized tier 1 level in USA Hockey, which would be a very, very stout midget league.
Oh, 100%. And you know, there's a lot of things that were discussed, you know, and again, I can't really get into it too much, but there's a lot of things coming. I think a lot of announcements coming up within the USA Hockey world, as far as predictions, but we'll have to wait and see. But it'll be good, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to let a cat out of the bag.
No, I know, but you know, you'll like this one. So I was at the meetings, right? Sitting at my table, we did some breakout groups. So I called Mark over. I'm like, hey Mark, I got a question for you. He's like, yeah, what's that? I said, I was wondering if we're gonna get some money back, since the last 2 games we've only had 2 officials. Because I've been flying a lot this year, so I'm looking at recruits. It was hilarious. He's like, basically piss off and walked away. It was hilarious.
They should, man, they should give us a credit for that.
Right now, it's just funny because we were sitting there talking about it, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna ask that question.
That ref was coming in hot on Friday's game.
Oh yeah.
After the first.
Oh,
Mrs. Halloweeni's asking if there's anything the boys can improve on. Well, really everything. When you get smoked 10-3, there's a lot of stuff.
4.
You can 4. You work on a lot of stuff. But you know, back to that game, I watched it when I was over in Detroit. But you know, when things went wrong, and all avenues, man. You know, it's just one of those games.
Yeah, I think, I really liked our start that game. I really felt like we were going in the right direction and buzzing, and it was just very similar breakdowns. And I think that we all have had a good understanding of what those breakdowns are. And
Yeah.
to us, if I had to count on one thing more than anything, it would be defensive zone coverage and tracking back into the D zone and identifying, first guy back's the center.
Yeah.
And you have layers of the D zone. You can't all get stuck puck watching. And a big thing to me that a lot of people don't, not a lot of people, I guess that's a bad way to say it, but a common mistake is like when there's a rush and a guy's wheeling the net, you gotta stay picked up on someone until we get it killed, and then you can go into your coverage. Everyone wants to rush to a spot in the D zone, and it's not until that puck's killed can we get. That's why you gotta kill the puck. Right?
Yeah.
And so just little details like that, I think it's a lot of defensive things, and if we start cleaning those up, I think we'll like the outcome.
Yeah. Just one of those things, man. It happens.
Yeah.
It just can't happen too often. That's for sure.
Okay.
This is how she's awesome. Saying that,
She said she thought we were doing good in the beginning and then it turned around. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that.
it happens, man.
Yeah. See if anybody else knows in here. Oh, my wife's in here. Whoops.
There's a lot of people coming and going.
Yeah, Fusey,
Oh,
Arias,
there's a bunch of boys in there.
Shorzy, Hinch is in there.
Hey, so I got a lot of compliments on your game. Some of the GMs like the way you play. So keep it up. That little kind of FU in you. Keep that going.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Good. Keep that rocking. What else,
He's a
fellas?
really good student too.
Who?
Hinch.
Is he good?
He's got Ivy grades.
Come on.
see that.
Him and Solano have Ivy grades.
Oh, good for
Kimball
you.
too.
Sky's the limit, fellas. Keep plugging.
Oh yeah.
Kimball too?
Kimball too. I
Really?
mean, that keeps your Division I option significantly open if you have a GPA like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, Ivies are Division I schools and they're going to go after the best talent, but they cannot work around the challenges of what the requirements are to get into the school.
Yeah.
So,
My
take care of your grades.
yeah, my daughter's got really good grades, and man, it's been a process. She committed already somewhere, but it was more for different reasons than academics, but just some of the requirements, man, to get in there.
But if you don't have the grades, those doors
Yeah, you
close
just
real quick.
you don't have options.
Well, yeah, I was talking to a coach this weekend from a Division I school, and he was saying, so their cutoff is a 3.0, and not in terms of accepting to the school, but so they have the pool scholarships, obviously, right,
Yeah.
that they have available to them. And you have your NIL money and divvy it up accordingly. But if you're one of those bubble guys between D3 and D1, you're not going to get the premier deal as far as scholarship goes if you're lucky enough to get in D1.
Right.
And so one of the 3.0 is a cutoff to be able to, for them to help you get other academic scholarships within the school to make it affordable. Because you might get an offer and they might say, hey, we want you here, but you're on your own. You can, a lot of schools will do, you come for 5, we'll pay for 4.
Right.
But your first year, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Right? Or something like that. So can you afford that first year? It depends, right? That's why you gotta take care of your grades, because you might be able to get other scholarships and they can help you out that way.
Otherwise, full boat. 40 grand, 60 grand. It's not affordable.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah. And it's expensive, man. Any help is a lot of help. You know what I mean? Should be grateful for everything. This weekend, again, you got the Brahms coming in. It's going to be a tough weekend. Guys skated today, skate tomorrow, pregame Friday. And it should be a lot of fun. You're off again this weekend. Then you
We are.
play Tuesday,
New Mexico.
and then you go to New Mexico.
Then we go there for 2.
And then you're back here to finish off your season March 7th, 8th, and 9th against Tulsa.
We're there together.
Say it again.
We're there together.
Yeah, but you got like a 2 o'clock game or something. I think it's all 2. Both are 2 o'clock games.
Well, yeah, and this week too, on Tuesday.
No, that's typo. I copied.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 7 p.m. 7
Yeah,
p.m.
is it a big go?
Maybe we can get some more fans.
Type. Oh yeah, we're not doing a 2 o'clock game.
Oh, people will come on a Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, there'll be a crowd here for sure. It's a lot of fun. But we just extremely thankful for all the fans that continue to show up. Man. Saturday, from what I saw, was booming there.
It was, man, the first period, it was like.
It's always the same.
We have a late crowd, typically, just in general, which is fine, as long as they show up. But before I even talked to the team, I came out to check the time.
Take a field trip behind us.
So we have 5 layers to our ice system. And we're going to start off with the sand layer at the bottom. It's going to have all our piping,
But it'll be another good test since we can't dig down.
base layer ice. Now, I was going to measure here today, and after that, so we have a pinch that's not high that sand, make sure you don't see that layer again. Followed by 60 inches of mold line to make sure our rivals are nice and pretty, as well as all our circles, our lines, and our dots, helps our left side all through the game. Followed by one
Any last
inch
comments
layer
here?
of cover, make sure you keep all these three things protected for our players and our fans. And have a great time.
Go Team USA. I'm just down here trying to make the best of it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace out, guys.
She said that they kept the comments, said they couldn't hear us.